Now, when all those things happen, it's just a normal that we just have to be a little stressed. Now, it goes far beyond 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. Imagine, I mentioned today I have a client who has been depressed for 8 years. It's affecting him right now, and people around don't even know. So I think that's the reason, the culture.
The culture. And especially that most people say in Africa, there's no depression. The Africans are so strong that we cannot get depressed. It's a white man's something. It's for them that we are so strong. A bit like cholera. They say black man cannot die of cholera. But black people are dying every day of cholera. So I feel it's a mindset that most people have, and they are not ready to get rid of it. So now, like you spoke about melancholy.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
I want to find out what's the difference between stress and depression.
Stress is maybe like you can I can be going through work, right? I can be going through something, and just the fact that I need to even travel from Yaoundé to Boya. Some people will have the phobia. They already have that fear of traveling. You already stress. Now, if I have to fly to the US, just covering the distance, I'm already stressed. Now, the difference with depression means it comes now, the stress continues more than an event. With depression, it happens again and again and again. It affects even your daily routine. It affects your daily routine, your weekly routine, and it's touching on areas that shut you down psychologically. That's when you know that you have depression.
Okay, a case study, for example, is like a man and a woman, or a boyfriend, girlfriend, and probably the boy is probably doing something which the lady feels worried about constantly, and it keeps the lady worried. So that is the person the girl is going through right now.
Yeah, I think let's break it down to your point that, take for example, I'm not supporting abortion, but somebody said she's pregnant, the guy said, I don't want you to keep the baby. From the moment of I don't want you to keep the baby, that lady is stressed. Now, the duration in which they are fighting to ensure that they find a solution, all through that period, that lady will enter into depression because she does not know how to manage it. I don't know if it's clear.
So, in other words, let me just make it in a very simple term. In other words, stress, accumulated stress will lead to depression.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing. Any other question, please, before we proceed? Nobody?
Now, the last question, I wanted to a bit differentiate between the sanguine and the melancholy so that everybody who is not watching that.
I'm just going to touch it because it's a paid session. Now, it's very important that as humans, you learn first your personality. Because this personality affects your job, your family, your social life, and all aspects. Now, take for example, I'm a sanguine. Now I'm a sanguine. And as a sanguine, I have my strengths and I have my weaknesses. Now, if you are a melancholic, you have your strengths and your weaknesses. Now, it takes I become where the areas of my strength can be the area of your weaknesses. Then your weaknesses can be my strength. So if we are working in an organization, psychologically the way you reason will affect me. And the way I reason will affect you. Now, melancholics are perfectionists. Sometimes they just want things to be perfect. But the same, I just want to do it fast, and I just let it go. And when the melancholic comes in, no, this thing is not done, it becomes a problem. Now, psychologically, it affects everybody. So the same thing happens when you're working with a phlegmatic or you're working with a choleric. Because those are the four dominant. We have a melancholic, we have the sanguine, we have the choleric, and a phlegmatic. So those are the temperament that makes, even though the four can still be one, but sometimes it dominates. A melancholic will dominate, or a sanguine will dominate, or a phlegmatic will dominate, or another temperament dominate. That's an answer.
What is a sanguine? We're still using that one. What does it mean?
Sanguine?
Yes.
A sanguine is a personality type. it's my personality type. It's a domineering gene that I inherited from my father or my mother, one of them, to get it. Now it touches on right from also when their own parents, they inherited it. So it's like a transgenerational generic thing that is moving. Yeah. So it affects every area. Most sanguine are social type, they are social butterflies. But I think if we have to diagnose more on that, I'll drop my number, you can do a session. I want to do that.
So let me just add some of the characteristics of a sanguine. The sanguine is curious, he's creative, he or she is creative, spontaneous, very impulsive, goal-oriented, optimistic, and cheerful. That is a sanguine. Those are the characteristics of a sanguine trait. So I think we should read more on it.
Yeah.
Because reading more on it, you go in depth. There's so much you will connect with. And I think there could be books too about personality.
There could be books, but that's why we are here as counselors.
Exactly.
Take a session with us with diagnosis and everything.
Alright, please, you guys should take his number and use him very well. So the next thing is, yes, we are talking about depression and anxiety, but we should be able to know the motivating factors. What pushes people to get into that state, depression and anxiety?
We have a lot of factors that will push, or we'll say the causes. In other words, what causes people to go into depression. We have like relationships issues.
That's the first.
Marriages. Some people are in marriages that were not meant to be, so to say.
How do you know when it's
Not meant to be, because every day of your life is stress upon stress, and it keeps piling up. Just like the story I was trying to share from the beginning. That's what happened. It was a marriage relationship. A lot of people get into marriages that they don't know their partners.
Yeah.
You've not known this person for a long time. This is a ministry on its own, marriage in totality. So, you don't get into it. You have to know the person you're getting into. You have those differences will obviously come up, but there are people that get into relationships that the difference is the way that maybe the lady is just down there and the man is just, so it doesn't work, and it leads to a lot of depression. I don't want to be gender biased by saying that a lot of ladies are going through so much depression, so much. And some don't talk, they are just there, and because of that, they go through depression. We've seen many ladies. I've never heard about a man who stood at the Bonaberry Bridge and jumped into the water. It's mostly ladies. You don't know what she has gone through in her home. And a lot of people always judge them. There's always this social construct that they always want to judge them. So we've talked about relationships. There are also relationships, maybe not marriage relationships, maybe just boyfriend, girlfriend. Someone finds out that the girlfriend is cheating on her, or the boyfriend is cheating on her with somebody, maybe the close friend or something. Depression sets in. Some people even go up to the extent of poisoning the other partner, or even holding a gun in a society where we have guns legalized. And then we look at also the socioeconomic factors. Look at our southwest and western region where we have this crisis. A lot of people have gone through depression. They have been displaced from their homes. They have been displaced from their towns. They've seen their parents killed. And just like I told her, I traveled now to Kumba. I stayed for 5 years. I was born in Kumba. I was raised there. I even went to school. They stayed there for a while. But I stayed for 5 whole years. Just the fear of going through that road. The first day I was scared in the car. I was just looking around. And people told me I've not seen anything. People used to see corpses on the way while traveling. Things like that have led to a lot of depression. You've never seen somebody, maybe we've seen it through TV or stuff like that, but you've never seen it. People saw people being shot dead in front of them, not only seeing people, but your parents, maybe your brother or your sister being raped and stuff like that. So, socio-economic has caused a lot of depression. Not only that, our country, Cameroon, is obvious, we all know, unemployment, uncertainty. We don't even know what is happening. Prices are just rising. Nobody is saying anything. There's no price control. Those are things that are letting people. You don't have a job. You go to the market, you want to buy a cup of rice, they tell you it's 100 francs. Where do you get the money to go? Or you say, okay, let me start up a business and be my own boss. And then they come with high taxes. So those are some of those things that are leading to depression, causing people to be depressed. I've just mentioned some few.
Before you come, so I beg to differ on a certain point concerning gender. You said you beg to be gender biased, that most women are depressed. Very true, most women are depressed, but now we should understand that we are in a society where the society says that men should be strong. Men have to show that they are strong. A man should not cry. A man should not. Some men are beaten by their wives. But you will never hear a man talking about it. Because it's like, what would they say? That my wife is beating me.
Sure.
Like, it's the same, like, I'm just trying to say that in as much as women are depressed, men too,
no,
but they cannot.
I didn't say men don't. I said that
Majority are women.
I have friends who tell me that their wives actually, even if they don't beat, they get violent on them and they cannot do anything about it because of the area where they live, the United States. Women are being protected.
People say you're beating her.
My friend shows me marks on his, when the wife just gets mad, anything, she carries objects and throws, you know, and then he just has to defend. And then he does nothing about it.
She fell on the right man.
Men actually go through it, of course. I'm not denying that fact.
Let me just add something. The point about what men go through is, the first thing you need to understand, from childhood, the men have been trained to be strong. Yeah. Now when a little boy and a girl, they're running and a lady falls, or both of them falls, they'll come and pick the girl up. And they'll just tell the young man, be strong, young man. Now, this is what has killed a lot of people. I have a friend of mine who told me that the brother used to work with the union with everything that he had. That guy just died. It's not been long. He had everything, but he was depressed. Yes. He could not talk. And that's the advantage of women. They easily talk. There is this bond right from childhood. If you see a woman, she's with another woman, and the communication between a woman and a woman is very close than a woman and a man. So it's easy for a woman to tell the friend, but men, I can be here all through. My friends somewhere will not tell that he's depressed. You feel like he can manage it.
Yes.
Sometimes they can manage it,
they cannot show
but
it.
at a certain level, they can't. They need you just need the help.
I have a question. Can you give some causes of depression? I don't know if she has said away. Like, family issue, does it also contribute to depression? For example, you being the first child, right? The family, and you have your own life plan. You want to stay abroad, you want to have a family. That's your own unique life. But at the end, you realize that you are from a family. You have within African context, you have to take care. So you realize that you are working money, you can't really live a life which you want to live because you have obligation. So at the end, you are
okay, there's what we call
depression, right?
Yes, I have another one.
There's what we call multicultural perspective. You want to go back to the culture that talks about helping family. We're Africans, it's part of it. Now the way you handle it, the triggers will not normally be the way another person handles it. Now if that aspect has become more depressive to that person, you want to trace it back from what could have been done to manage it so that it will not affect you. You can be a family, a firstborn, and you see that, okay, maybe if I touch one person, the person stands to take care of this other one, take care of the one, so that the load goes down. It makes you can be a little stressed, but you might not get into depression.
Now, when they're not satisfied, because sometimes you do good behind the company,
People always complain.
just like
I have a contribution.
Okay.
I think also an aspect is expectation.
Yeah, of course.
I think in all of these things that we have mentioned, expectation is actually the high drive. It's either coming from the society, it's coming from your family, it's coming from your spouse. The expectation is always there, and people don't know how to manage this expectation. What personally, I just for me to mention how I manage my stress not to get into a depressive state for everything. When I wake up in the morning, I make affirmations and I do meditations in the morning before I go out. Secondly, I make sure that in everything that I do, I'm not going to impress anyone, not even my mom. If I have 100K, I know that she needs 50K. There are times I will intentionally give her 20K, not 50K as she needs. Just for her to understand that it's possible that you want something and you think I can give you, but you can manage with what I give you, yes. So at the end of the day, I have helped her, but not as she expects. And if I do that, I think it's the kind of training that I'm doing for her. Yeah, I think it's a training. I think everybody learns. The fact that she's older than me doesn't mean that she cannot learn. If everybody puts themselves at the position of being flexible, and the expectation will reduce. I don't expect my boyfriend, for example, to never cheat on me. I don't expect him to cheat on me either. Yeah, I don't expect in any of them. I don't expect him to cheat. I don't expect him not to cheat. I only wish for him not to cheat. I do not invest energy in making sure that he doesn't cheat. Neither do I put effort to make sure that he or I don't care. It's not that I don't care. It's actually being nice to him, which is supposed to be a nature of mine, to be nice to other people. And if they make their decision to want to go or not, accept the period of hurt, heal, and not curse or wish bad for the other person, because it's a human. People go through things. Simply because it's not favoring me doesn't mean that it should be cursed for them. So I think reducing our expectation is very helpful.
I'm sure she has touched light on what I wanted to say for you to be able to manage what you're going through.
now, last intervention. Having a girlfriend or a woman, can it contribute in also working out depression? For example, if you're a single guy, too much workload, you come back, too much work, keep moving, too much work to do. So, is it important sometimes you need a woman beside to get married so that she's going to play with you and forget some stress?
Okay. The truth is, we all enter into whatever relationship we have with our garbage. Now, if you can handle yours before entering into a relationship, she handles hers before entering, you will not have it. So the best person that can manage depression is your single self, your unique self, your whole self, your separate self. If you can build that self, they will not affect you. Whether she's there or she's not there, it will not cause you. Like what she said, she made mention of expectation. Now, there's a difference between expectation from a sanguine and expectation from a melancholic. Sanguine are people pleaser. I can have money here and somebody comes and know I'll be going through hard times. But because I'm a people pleaser, I'll just give. If I'm not discipline myself, it will affect me. So all those aspects are critical. We want to analyze some of these things.
Okay, Susan, you had a contribution.
A question.
A question.
I just need to know the factors that cause depression. I don't always explain our lives. Are there internal factors that can cause depression? Like from yourself?
Just the fact that you have low self-esteem can cause you to be depressive. You understand? Just the fact that you're not build your self-esteem, it will cause you to go down. Now, also it can be traceable. Sometimes you want to know the factors, what are the triggers, and how do you diagnose the root cause. It's very important. Once you can diagnose what can cause you to be depressive, you can easily manage it.
Can I say something? I wanted for me to mention that I think it's internalized. Why do I say so? I think in every manifestation outwardly, there's an identification inside of you that it just needs to be triggered for you to become depressed. For example, if I'm so scared of, for example, I see a relationship because I'm so scared of my boyfriend cheating on me. I'm so scared because of past experiences, not necessarily me, maybe my mom, how my mom went through that, how my sisters, how my friends, because women always talk about these things. So if I'm so scared, it hasn't happened to me yet, for example. Immediately I see an aspect that could suggest by any means that my boyfriend is cheating, about to cheat, or is going to cheat, whichever part, it easily triggers that part in me because I identify with it. And until I identify with it, it's easy for me to fall into depression because it's the thought of going through what I think other people go through, or the shame in going through it. What do people say? So I think it's a little bit of.
So okay, I want to look at you. I'm not diagnosed. But from your minds, you can know whether you are a choleric type or a melancholic. You understand? The reason is because the way you relate with issues, it goes back. That's the foundation. I'm using this because with some people don't even know that that's the foundation on dealing with these things. When you know the foundation, you easily walk. A choleric can be anchored here for the next 2 weeks. They can just have mood swings, just cause their house to be at war. Now, what is happening will not be the same that will happen for a sanguine. You will see those symptoms. Say, anyway, say laissez-faire. Okay, yes, I just pushed it and I move. You understand? So it has impact on those aspects, and that's the.
Okay. Because you were talking about expectation.
Yeah.
I told you I was depressive. Twice actually, 2015 and early this year. I know how to manage it already with myself. I don't know that my way is going to work on you or any of you. And it starts by the stress. And the stress comes from expectation.
Yes.
You see people come at 2, people come at 4, you're already mad. Whether you talk or you keep it in, you're mad. That's a fact. I have no more expectation with anybody. You can be my father or my mother. I have no expectation from you. Everything that comes from you to me is a gift. And I say thank you. Even to Jah, even to you, I say thank you. If you don't give me anything, it's also pretty good. Because I'm supposed to take care of myself. I'm not supposed to counting on someone to help me taking care of myself. That's the first way I defeat my depression time. Then there is another thing about expectation is you are always looking to people and you are not looking to yourself. You have expectation from people and people have expectation from you. And you have expectation from yourself. And the most important is the expectation you have from yourself. And you forget about that and you focus on other people. I've learned something from experience. We can have a plan that tomorrow we are going maybe to Kribi. We're going to party, we're going to do this, do that, do this. We take the money, put it there, we reserve the hotel, we do everything we need to do. And we wake up in the morning, I'm calling her, she doesn't pick up the phone. We were supposed to leave maybe at 8. I'm still calling at 4 p.m. She doesn't pick up the phone. You're going to think about many things in your head. Get mad, get okay, get mad again, get even sad. Everything going to go through your head. And the way that we cool it down, if you have expectation, is her answer. And sometimes when she picks up the phone, her answer doesn't please you. And it gets worse. And it's not her fault. Your fault is yours. You have expectation. People don't owe us anything. Even your boyfriend he don't owe you anything. You are together, that doesn't mean you know him. So he cheat on you, that's on you to decide if you can live with that or not. He doesn't even have the need to change something about himself. If he's a cheater, that's him, he's a cheater. Can you be with a cheater or can you manage or not? So everything is about us. And that's the first thing that helped me overcome depression. That's where I come from. And I got it twice. This year too.
That's awesome. So like all the contributions we have are based on our mindset. So everything evolves around our mindset. It's a bit like you go to the hospital and you're diagnosed of cancer, for instance. When you didn't have cancer, you were not stressing. But immediately they tell you have cancer, the hair starts falling off on its own.
Yeah.
It's the same with HIV. But when you don't know you have HIV, you do your things. Fire, you're powerful, you go everywhere. But immediately they tell you have HIV, or they tell you that you're dying in 1 week. The lifestyle changes automatically. It's like it sends a signal to your brain. For instance, once I had an argument with a friend. So I had some issues with my mom and I was like, no, I'm stressed up. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm always staying in the house. Oh, he told me that the problem is not your mom. The problem is you. Not that you didn't do it, not that you did something wrong, but the way you took what your mom told you, your mindset. Okay, this is what is happening. What is the way you can do to be positive about it? What can you do while being in the house that can help you grow? Maybe learning a new skill, maybe learning a new course, something, but I did not want to hear. I was that kind of, my mother, I was so angry. And he was trying to advise me in the wrong moments when I was really at my lowest, and I said some hurtful things to him till Dave is not talking to me. Like, you don't know the little things you tell people when you're low, you might not be able to go back to it. So we should be able to control ourselves, have a grip of yourself and everything. After this, we are going to have experience sharing. I always believe that experiences help us understand each other, helps us grow, we give ourselves advice and we move from there. So before we go to experience sharing, we like to have the effects of this depression and anxiety. What we know, some of us know of suicide. But is it easy for someone to get to that point of wanting to commit suicide?
Very easy.
Very easy. Because you feel hopeless, you need to isolate yourself from people. At that time, the devil's mind, you know, they say the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So, because part of the signs and symptoms is isolation, where you isolate yourself, you start having all those kinds of thoughts like, but what am I living for? I was talking with a friend some time back, it's not too long. Actually, he's been hurting a lot of people. Okay. He doesn't want to see that he's hurting people. He only wants that just like we're talking, he expects that people should treat him right. But he's not treating people right. So when I was trying to counsel him, I said, but no, you have to do it this way. He said, and then he came to a point where he said, I know if I die today, no one is going to care whether I'm dead or not.
No one will know.
Yes. And then at the end he said, because I was actually angry with him too. And then at the end he said, if I even die, no.